Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another speed build for you. This one is a bit of a long one though, so I'm just going to jump right into it. So my friend slash old roommate Morgan wanted me to build her apartment, and so she sent me this. So this is what I'm going off of when I'm building this, because the thing is, I've never actually been to Morgan's apartment, let alone seen the house above it, let alone the house next to it. So I had to get a little bit creative here. So let's just jump right into the build here. So my friend Morgan actually lives in a basement apartment. So I started with the basement, but on top of the lot, just so I could still see what I was doing. I find like actually building underground is kind of disorienting, and it can be like a little, I don't know, annoying. So yeah, I just kind of started on top here and just started with the general shape of this diagram that she has given me. And I kind of just started from one corner and started making my way around the apartment. I just wanted to make sure I got all of the items that she included, because I wanted it to, you know, look like her apartment. I wanted her to be kind of like blown away at how similar it was to her place. And I think I nailed it in the end. She has a little kitchen here, and her apartment is actually a pretty proportionate size to The Sims. Like, I feel like I was able to get a really accurate representation of her place, while also it doesn't look really weird in the game. And I also made sure that your sim can use everything in this apartment, so even though some places may look a little crammed, you're good. You can still play in it, so you're good to download this. Obviously, just make sure you have bb.moveobjects turned on before you do, and my ID will be linked in the description below. So I'm just setting up the kitchen here and just making sure I have some clutter. And I was also going off of some reference pictures from Morgan's Instagram, because she posted lots of pictures of her apartment, because it's a vibe. I have lots of these overhead lights right now just so I could see what I was doing. But I do end up taking a lot of them away and using a lot of lights just from lamps, which is something I don't actually do very often. Like, I'm usually just okay with the overhead lights, just with it being really bright and everything. But I don't know, it didn't feel like a basement when I put it underground. I don't know, it didn't look like her apartment. So I think turning off those overhead lights or just getting rid of them and using the lamps. I also end up using a pink lava lamp, so it kind of gives off this pink vibe, which is what her apartment is, which is so cool. And I'm pretty jealous that she lives here. I would have loved to live in a basement apartment like this when we were living in Toronto. And like I said, Morgan was my roommate for a little while when I was living in Toronto. I think it was my third year living in there. Yeah, so I was in my third year of college when Morgan moved into the apartment I was living in, because one of our roommates had moved out and Morgan was looking for a place. So yeah, we ended up living together. But our apartment was actually not in a basement. It was actually on top of a cafe on the Danforth Avenue, if you live in Toronto, or even if you've like been to the Danforth Music Hall. We just used to live down the street from there. But we don't anymore, so that's why I'm comfortable with telling you that. And it was a 2-story apartment. It had, kitchen, 2 bathrooms. It actually had a half bathroom downstairs and a bathroom upstairs as well. And considering where we were like really close to Coxwell Station. It was like a 5-minute walk, not even to the subway station. So we pretty much had it made. It was a really good spot to live. But now Morgan's living in this basement apartment, and I'm just using the basement tool now to move it underground. Now that I have everything set up the way I want it to, I've moved it underground, and I just used the basement tool basically over the whole lot, and then moved it down, and then just adjusted the basement walls. I don't know, I find using the basement tool really annoying sometimes, so if you just give yourself that space to move everything down, then, you know, you're good. And then I started building around the basement, because I kind of decided, well, I'm not just going to have like a basement. I have to build a house above it. So I started picturing what houses looked like in Toronto. Like, I cleaned a lot of houses when I was living in Toronto because I was a residential maid for a little bit. And this is basically what, like, every house and every subdivision looked like. That wasn't like a mansion or a condo, but if you're just like walking in a normal neighborhood in Toronto, the houses are skinny and long, and they're usually about 2 stories. This is basically the layout of every house that I cleaned. And I was just kind of fumbling with the steps in the back here a little bit because it didn't really make sense to have the stairs right in the middle of the patio. So I ended up moving them to the back of the patio there. And I also pictured this house that I'm working on kind of like it's more updated. Maybe it's an older couple who's living there. They've, lived their lives. They've had kids. Their kids have grown up and moved out. So they have all this money, especially coming from, Morgan, their tenant downstairs, to update it. While their neighbors next door, they're kind of still stuck in the 70s a little bit. Like maybe like their house is not so updated, but they're the same house. I literally just cloned the house that I had on the left and just moved it over and just kind of mirrored it. So when I go back upstairs, you'll see that everything's just kind of mirrored. And just kind of adding some more finishing touches, just some more art on the walls, some more plants, and then also adjusting everything because it kind of got messed up when I was making the house upstairs apparently. So that was kind of annoying, but that's okay. Just adding some more paintings and stuff on the walls. But yeah, I literally just mirrored this house and just tried to make this one look a little bit more modern, which I think we'll head upstairs in a second and start working on that. So those stairs that you see, that were over there, there are stairs that lead to the upstairs of this house, but then Morgan also has her front door from her kitchen going outside, as you saw me struggling. But that's where right here, the front door leads to those stairs. I also couldn't record that little living room section that you can see in the top right corner there, just because I ran out of space on my laptop. As I've said before, this laptop is not good at all for gaming, recording videos, but I don't know when I'm going to get a new computer. And I figure if I don't start making these videos now, I'll just keep using it as an excuse to never make one. I'll just be like, I don't have a computer, so I can't. But look at us, making videos, struggling with my shitty laptop, but we're managing. And I think this kitchen turned out really cute. I picture they've like repainted all of the cabinets here. They've torn down the walls from the dining room. And so their dining room and living room are an open concept, but then they have this little cozy kitchen, and that door there is what leads to the stairs to the basement. But of course we can just leave that locked or not use it. But in The Sims we do have the option of locking doors, so only certain Sims can go through them, which is really handy. So you can have your tenant downstairs and then also have a couple living in this house and also have a family living next door. So you can have a lot of Sims living on this lot, but not necessarily together. They can have different lives and relationships. Because in Toronto, everything is very squished together. You have your alleyway. You have your alleyway where you share your garbages, and that's what I've done here that you can see in between these two houses. I was also trying to make this living room blue, and it wasn't working for me. So I ended up changing that in the end. And I'm making this dining room space. This is, like I said, basically what every house looked like that I cleaned. You walk in, you have the like really narrow stairs basically right when you walk in the door. And I remember this because when we were cleaning, you start upstairs. And it was always like you open the door and walk right up the stairs. And it's because everything is tall and skinny. You build up, because property is not cheap in Toronto. And that was just the vibe I was trying to go for here. And I wasn't really anticipating building 2 houses to build Morgan's apartment. And I feel like we've really gotten off of Morgan's apartment now. But that's fine. I feel like it makes this lot really, really fun. And I'm honestly really proud of this build. I think this is one of my proudest build moments in The Sims. So I'm really happy that I recorded it all for you, even though it was a struggle with my limited space. And I did manage to record all of it. I wasn't sure if I was going to or not. So yeah. And I think I'm going to just make this half bath here and then head upstairs. And there is only the master, what is this? There's a half bath, a full bath upstairs, 2 full baths upstairs. I forgot about the ensuite. Then the master bedroom and an office. So yeah, 2 bedroom, 3 bathroom. And you could make the office into a bedroom if you wanted to. But like I said, I kind of pictured this as like a retired couple. And Morgan said that she wanted to get like a cat, but she can't because her landlords are really allergic to pets or whatever. So I just didn't give them a pet. I don't know. I just kind of pictured them as like this really like older professional couple, like getting ready to settle down, getting ready to retire. But you know, like they still maybe have kids who are helping them keep their house up to date. Really nice. They're looking through those IKEA catalogs. And I did use that blue paint in the office. I managed to squeeze it in there. And I think I do end up putting an easel in here as well. I go back to it and throw it in there. Yeah, I think this turned out really, really well. I did want to put the dartboard in here too, so like if you had Sims living in here, they had more things to do. But the little line that you have to stand behind ended up going into the hallway, so I couldn't use it, which was pretty sad. And I know I've said before in other videos that I just kind of breeze over bathrooms, but this ensuite I actually tried to make a little different because when I was cleaning, I know I keep going back to my cleaning job, but there were so many ensuites that had these like big like clawfoot tubs, and I swear there would be people who would have like 5 bathrooms and there would be like a tub in every one, and every week when I would go, like every single tub would be used. It's like, how are you doing this? Like, does everyone in the family just get assigned a tub? Because if so, that's amazing. But I don't know. I don't bathe that. Like, I'm a shower kind of person. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And this is the bathroom just in the hallway there that everybody can use. But of course, there is still the half bathroom downstairs. So if you have guests staying, I guess they could use that shower in there instead of like going through your bedroom because that's awkward. And I honestly just didn't really know what to put in these rooms, so I was like, we'll put an ensuite over there and it'll be fine. I did also have to use a few cheats to get like those books and the quill that are sitting on the desk there. I also realized these seasons curtains, the smaller size that fits over that like small window there, doesn't have the same swatches as the bigger sizes of the same curtains, and it drives me crazy. So you'll see me struggling with this window and then I get rid of it, but then at the end I actually do and I go and put it back. I don't know, sometimes I watch the speed builds back before I'm actually done the build, and I just find things that I actually liked and wish that I hadn't gotten rid of, so that was one of those things. I'm like, I did like the window there, so I put it back. And now I'm working on the older house. You know, it hasn't been updated yet. It's pretty, it's brown. That was kind of, that was the vibe I was going for. It still has like the wood paneling on all the walls. It still has the old hardwood, whereas like the neighbors, they got that new hardwood flooring. But yeah, these are still like the old original hardwood floors, which are still nice. They have, you know, more of a closed floor plan downstairs. The dining room is actually closed off from the kitchen and the living room area. I also debated on also putting a basement in this house, but I decided that would be way too much work and it would make this video way too long. So in a house like this, they may not actually have a TV over their fireplace, but I did just throw one here just so if you have some Sims living here, they can watch TV. But normally there would probably just be like a painting or something over the fireplace, and they would have a separate room in the basement to watch TV in. But yeah, I was just too lazy to do that because I wasn't even really anticipating on building this entire house at all. So I was trying not to get too caught up in the way it looked. Um, Something else that I did with this house, I only really put windows on the front and the back, and then I waited to put windows until I, like on the sides, until I was finished with the floor plan, uh, because like the houses are so close together that like it didn't really matter where the windows were. So I just wanted the windows to make sense in the rooms rather than look good on the outside, if that makes sense. Uh, so yeah, I add a window there, and then I do end up adding a window in the kitchen as well. But yeah, it's, as you can see, brown. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. I picture maybe like an elderly couple living here, and they have like a grandchild who comes to visit maybe, because there is a children's room. But it's very like generic. It's more just like a spare room with like a bunch of old toys in it, and like if your grandparents have a room like that. So that's kind of the vibe, but we're not there yet. And this is actually a really big kitchen. Like I don't know if it's too big, but I think I made it work. I end up putting a little breakfast nook on that far wall, and I end up putting a window in there as well. Oh yeah, and these guys have a pool, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Whereas the neighbors next door don't, but that's because Morgan has to live down there, which is still the whole point of this video. So I just want to thank Morgan so much for sending me your diagram, as messy as it was, and no matter how many times I had to zoom in to actually see what it said. I'm so glad you sent it to me, because this build turned out really well, and I think I actually did a really good job of building houses that really looked like houses in Toronto. And if you live in Toronto and if you live in a house like this, tell me, because that would be cool. Or don't tell me if you don't want to. That's cool too. So I'm just working on the half bathroom on this house now downstairs. And like I said, like these houses are basically identical. There are a few differences. The floor plan upstairs is a smidge different, but not really. It's basically the same thing. Just adding some more pictures, more decorations. I think I end up changing the color of the fire. Yep, there we go. Fireplace change color, more brown. But as brown as this house is, I think it actually looks really good and pretty realistic, and it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. And I had a lot more fun with it than I thought I would too. So, bonus, considering I didn't intend to build two houses. I know I keep saying that, but it really just started with a basement apartment, and then it kind of expanded into this because I wanted it to just be realistic. So I think I did a pretty good job. So this master bedroom does not have an ensuite like the other one, but like I said, the other one is more updated. They could have just put that in with all that rent money they had coming in. And I was like, well, this couple could have a dog, since the other people don't have a dog, but they have the ensuite and these people don't. But then I decided against that, because then I would have had to go back and add like the food bowls and toys and stuff like that. So I was like, no, that's just more work that I don't want to do. But I will add a kid's room just to, switch it up a little bit. And like I said, it's very generic, just like with some toys in there. I actually had a next door neighbor. She wasn't my grandma. She was someone else's grandma. So she had a room full of toys, and I could just go over there whenever I wanted. And I would like play on the computer, and I would like play with like all these toys. And she would just like watch her soap operas and stuff like that. And she would teach me like how to speak in Dutch, because she was Dutch. And yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking of when I was building this room. It's just like a room with a small bed in it, so a child could stay in there and have some fun while they visit their grandparents or their aunt or uncle or whoever lives here. If you build some Sims that live on this lot, let me know. But I did build Morgan. So if you want to play as her, you can. I will put her up in the gallery, and you can download her. Morgan, people can download you now, just so you know. Yeah, and I added a bookshelf. What do we do here? Oh yeah, I put an office in here as well, except it's not quite as like extravagant as the other. Well, it's actually really nice, but I tried to make the other one more like maybe a writer lived there and they just like studied in there like day and night, whereas this one is just more of like a computer room, if you want to call it that. And like I said, I do have like the brown paneling all throughout the house. You know, like they haven't updated it in a long time. So that's why I picture like an older couple living here. There were a few houses I cleaned. If they hadn't been updated in a while, they had like this really thick carpet, like all up the stairs, all in the hallway. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't think it looked good. I like these hardwood floors actually. I think they look really good. I think they're from the Jungle Adventure pack. Is that what it's called? I don't know. And at this point, I was so close to finishing this build. It had taken me so long. I think this build probably took me like 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours. I don't know. I can't actually remember how long it took me. So I kind of gave up on that hallway upstairs a little bit. I did make sure I added a thermostat to every living space, and I closed up that walkway a little bit too. But yeah, that's basically the build. So let's go into our game and do a little virtual tour, shall we? Okay, so I've just popped into my game. I've also upped my graphics to a luxurious medium. So we have our modern looking build on the left and our more outdated build on the right, but still kind of that mirrored house because they're the exact same size. The only difference is that Morgan's basement is under this one. So let's just go ahead and start with this house here. So we have our front porch area here, and again our alleyway down the middle for both of our buildings. For our garbages, and let's just head right on inside. So we walk in the front door and we have a beautiful living room and dining room situation. We have a coat rack area where you can take your shoes off. Nice storage area. We have the half bathroom in here. Pretty exciting, pretty boring actually. And then our beautiful bright kitchen. I actually love this kitchen. I think it's super cute. Here, I'll stop moving for a second so you can actually see it. Here, let's get that shot. Beautiful. Look at that. Wonderful. And of course, this is the door going into the basement, going into Morgan's apartment. But we will get to that once we go back outside. I just want to cover the upstairs really quick before we move on. So let's just head upstairs. So then we're entering the hallway area here, and I think my camera's going to like glitch out a little bit, but that's okay. So then we're going to head, yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. So here's our master bedroom. Have a little reading nook over there. And we also have the ensuite. And I love the way this turned out. I think it's super cute. I love the colors. So then leaving the master bedroom, walking down the hallway here, we have the office where you can see they got a lot of work done. I could have spent some more time decorating, but I just really wanted to move on because I knew I had a whole other house to build. And this is the bathroom that everybody has access to. It's nice and full and bright. I love the yellow and blue. So let's just head back downstairs. And I'm just pretending to walk out the kitchen here. So here is the backyard area. They have a little gardening area as well as a little yoga mat, which I know Morgan would love. And let's just head down these stairs. And we have a little gateway here, which of course leads to the sidewalk way over there leading to the main road. And this is where Morgan is going to use her entrance to get into her apartment. So when we head down the stairs, we see Morgan's front door here. So let's just walk through here. And here is, ta-da, Morgan's apartment. And I love the lighting so much. I'm so glad I removed those overhead lights. So she has her little kitchen space here. She has her little dining space here. She does have more hanging lights over these curtains, but I just wasn't able to do that without the clipping like looking really stupid. Okay, that plant's in the wrong spot. Let's fix that. Okay, that's better. That's what it's supposed to look like. So she has her little living space here. She can play her video games, read books, and you can use this whole area. I checked. It works, okay? And then she has her little office space. She can play piano, sing her heart out wherever. This bathroom, I never actually used the swatch of this shower, but I think it actually works really well with this orange rug, nice bright bathroom. And then she has a little space over here where she can get ready, do her makeup. She can do her hair at this dresser here with her little utility thing. And she can do her makeup sitting over here. And your sim can actually sit here, which I was actually surprised about. And of course the stairs leading up to the landlord's living space, but we never have to use that door because we don't live up there. So that is the apartment down here. So we can just head back outside. All right, so let's just do a quick tour of the neighbor's house here, the one that's a little bit more outdated. All right, so walking through the front door, we see the creepy face through the window. That's good. Here's the living space with a TV, nice chair and table. We can listen to music, bust a move on the nice rug there. And we have the dining area with this hallway also going along here. And there's lots of entryways into this dining area. There's also the half bathroom here, just like we saw in the other house, just a little bit more brown. And going into this kitchen, which is also brown, but it's nice. It's nothing special about it. Normal brown kitchen. And then we have the pool area. Ooh, so nice. Don't you just want to jump in? So let's just go up the stairs, have a little peek. And like I said, these guys don't have a basement because that was more work. And let's just head upstairs. So let's just head right into the master bedroom. Okay, so pretty boring, but you know, there's a bedroom. So master bedroom, and then we go into the kids' room in the hallway here. And I love how colorful it is. I never really realized how colorful it was until I looked at it from this angle. Nice. And we have the office in this room here, well, the computer room, like whatever. It's just it's a room with a computer in it. Didn't really do too much. And then of course just the bathroom here. It's pretty ugly, not gonna lie. And that is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun building this. And once again, thank you, Morgan, for sending me your diagram and sending me pictures of your apartment. It really inspired me to do this build, and I'm super happy with it. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!